Tonight is a special night at the White House. It's Donald and Melania's 20th wedding anniversary. 20 years is a long time, especially for Melania. This morning, Trump paid tribute to his longest-serving wife by reposting this AI image of himself with a lion.
Jimmy Kimmel just roasted Trump's marriage, and oh boy, did it strike a nerve. Trump's fuming like a kettle about to blow. Will he ignore it or go full meltdown mode on Truth Social? And Melania, you know she's been through this before. Will she roll her eyes, or will we get another classic awkward moment between them? Get your popcorn. This is about to get good.
I'm guessing he noticed a bunch of people posting about his anniversary, which remind him, oh, it's my anniversary, so he then reposted this sweet photo of Melania literally pushing him away from her.
Kimmel isn't new to this. He knows exactly how to push Trump's buttons. One well-placed joke and boom, instant media chaos. So when he hit the stage, grinning like he just won the comedy jackpot, the audience knew they were in for something big.
Well, our president kept the crowd very warm at CPAC over the weekend. CPAC, if you're not familiar, is basically what would happen if Judge Jeanine Pirro headlined the Fire Festival. It's a lot of very angry white people. It is the largest gathering of people who believe vaccines are witchcraft in the world. And for 2 hours and 2 minutes, Donald Trump gave what I believe we may look back on as his I Have a Dream speech. This was his longest speech since taking office. He went on and on. You could have left this speech, watched 2 episodes of Game of Thrones, come back, and he would still have been going. And to kick things off, Trump went to one of his signature moves to start it. And I know there's a lot of competition, but this, I think, this might be the dumbest thing he does. Who does that? Donald Trump shows more affection to flags than Eric and Don Jr. have ever gotten in their whole lives.
Kimmel eased in with a few light jabs, nothing too wild, just enough to keep the crowd hooked. Classic warm-up, but everyone knew that wasn't it. The real punch was coming, and when he finally dropped it, boom, a perfectly timed knockout that had the audience reeling.
Has there ever been a worse host than Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars? His opening was that of a less-than-average person trying too hard to be something which he is not and never can be. Blah, 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 make America great again. Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still watching. Isn't it past your jail time?
In every audience, there are those people, the ones who act like laughing might get them in trouble. They sit frozen, pretending they didn't hear the joke. But the rest? Total mayhem. Laughter echoing, hands clapping, people gasping for air like they just ran a marathon. Kimmel nailed it.
According to reports from multiple news outlets, his former sister-in-law alleges that Hegseth's wife was terrified he would abuse her to the point where she and her sister had a code to text each other if her husband became violent, and she feared for her safety.
This is where the real fun began. Kimmel doesn't just tell a joke and move on. Oh no, he digs in, he stretches it out, breaking it down bit by bit, making it even funnier, or worse, depending on who you ask. He milks the moment, keeping the laughter rolling until some people are laughing so hard they can barely breathe. And then come the cameras. Because when a comedian roasts Trump, you know they're searching for those priceless reaction shots. Who's cracking up? Who's pretending they're not laughing? Who looks like they just realized they'll have to defend this at Thanksgiving dinner? So what do you think? Was Kimmel's joke fair game, or did he go too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
If I was gonna make stuff up about him, I'd start telling people he wears diapers. I would explain that it's a long trial. He drinks a lot of Diet Cokes to stay awake. He's getting up there in years, and it's perfectly normal for a man of Trump's age and carriage to wear absorbent undergarments to stop the leaks. So, I mean, if I was making stuff up, that I would point out that the reason he stands like this and golfs like this and plays tennis like this is because he has a full diaper strapped around his little mushroom garden, okay?
Jimmy Fallon asks me if he could do one thing. Could he play with my hair?
Can I mess your hair up?
I want to see if it's real. So he didn't just play. He puts his hand in my hair, and the audience went wild, and they loved it. 6 months later, he stood up, and he said, I'd like to apologize for doing that. He lost his whole audience when he did that.
Will it be an all-caps rant, a wild conspiracy, or another late-night meltdown about fake news losers? One thing's for sure, this joke just lit a fuse and the explosion coming. Trump versus late-night comedians? It's a never-ending show. One joke and boom headlines, viral clips, and social media chaos. But this feud isn't new. Trump's been a late-night punchline for decades, from his golden towers to his bizarre interviews, and of course, that hair. So what's next? Another Twitter war? A rage-fueled speech? Hit subscribe so you don't miss Trump's next move.
Usually when Donald Trump gets a spanking like this from a woman, it's with a Forbes magazine. Kamala was pushing his buttons like a 12-year-old playing Fortnite. This was a much better debate than the last debate. This is like the Lion King when Simba came back to avenge Mufasa. Trump's advisors, before the debate, they urged him to be happy Trump instead of mean bully Trump, and to please focus on the issues. Of course, he didn't listen to any of that at all. But who are we kidding? This election isn't about the issues. I mean, Dick Cheney isn't voting for Kamala Harris because he agrees with her on the issues. He's voting for her because there's a rhinoceros charging and she has the tranquilizer gun.
Then, when The Apprentice made Trump a TV icon, he loved the spotlight. Late-night hosts roasted his ego, his gold-plated lifestyle, and his obsession with his name, but back then he played along. Then came 2016. The jokes turned brutal. Colbert, Myers, and Kimmel went all in, and Fallon made the mistake messing up Trump's hair on air. The backlash was brutal, and Trump never forgot. As president, he hated late-night comedians, calling them fake news and attacking their ratings. Even after leaving office, his grudge hasn't faded. But here's the thing, Trump is comedy gold. As long as he's around, late-night hosts will always have fresh material.
Hey, speaking of prisoners, this should be an interesting Valentine's Day at the White House. For instance, will Donald Trump get flowers from Vladimir Putin? We don't know. And what about his wife, Melania? Will they spend the night together, or will she remain trapped like Rapunzel at their apartment in New York? Do you know Melania Trump has a new line of greeting cards? They carry these now at CVS. They're interesting, actually. I've not seen any. Happy Valentine's Day. Open out, saving.
And that's the cycle. Trump rages, comedians roast, and the internet eats it up. Whether he claps back or lets it simmer, one thing's for sure. Late night TV just got another season of must-watch drama. Want to stay ahead of the chaos? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next.